potential golden generation.
The chosen ones. 6 chosen one players must be in the starting 11. Rule out the save.
So it appears that we have absolutely nailed the player progress pathway. If you look where they're starting, this is Condella, 3-star. He started to plateau a bit, but we have absolutely ramped it up now. Check it out. It's the same story with Stefano Collina, 17-year-old centre-back. But back to Condello, we used him in the poacher role. And against top of the table Padova, he was electric. This game also included probably the goal of the season so far. Let's have another look. So the chosen one players were playing really well and progressing nicely. We'd also switched the formation to this, so we dropped the central midfielder back into a volante on attack. All that combined meant the second half of the season was nearly perfect over the one defeat. However, despite that great run, Vicenza were just too good, ending the season with 91 points. We finished with 80, only losing 6 matches. So the main part of the season is over. We're about to go into the infamous Serie C playoffs. But first, this move for Luati back into a volante role, which is what I wanted to get him to be our Yaya Toure, coming from deep. It's worked a treat. If you look at him isolated, he's got 10 assists from that position from central midfield. His attributes have just took a bit of a hit because he's been out injured, but his progress overall has been really good. But I think the big move was changing Condello into a poacher, because since then, since the last time we were here, he's now got 16 goals, 37 appearances, and clubs are starting to look at him, including Sion from Switzerland. Bit of a worry. Now his strike partner Ruti Giuliano finished with 18 goals, and in behind them was Shinetti, 15 goals, 8 assists. Now I think I might have the shortest front three in world football. There's been a lot of talk about losing weight in the upcoming Football Manager 25, but my front three, height-wise, we could have the smallest front three in the world. Shinetti's only 5'9", Condello 5'9", and Ruti Giuliano is 5'8". So we won't be playing floated crosses, that's for sure. Although it did make me laugh when Ruti Giuliano, all 5'8" of him, won this header, which led to Condello scoring this goal. We talked about next season and building up our shortlist, and now it's getting bigger, ready to make some moves. And to get ready for the summer, I took some of your advice from the last video. I went to my under-20s, and the ones that are going to be out of contract and no part of our plans, we selected them, and we set them all for release. What that does is boost funds ready for next season. And that meant the wage budget for next season was boosted, and I've been able to secure 6 new signings. More of them later on. But first, it's time to talk about the intake of youth players, and as you can see, a potential golden generation. Those words, golden generation, are what every Football Manager player playing a long haul save like we are wants to see. It's all relative to the stature and size of your club at that point, but we've got an excellent intake with some standouts. For example, one of the highlighted players is Marco Moretti. Now he's only 15. His attributes initially might not blow you away, but having a 15-year-old with determination at 16, flair of 14, for example, he's only going to go up. This is potentially very exciting. From this list of players here, I identified 4 players that could be absolutely ideal for us. You already saw Moretti, and this is Nicola Di Enrico, and you can see from his attributes as well. Determination is there. He's aggressive. A lot of them are aggressive. I like that. Agresta is another one, a centre-back, lacking the determination, so that might be a concern, but his core centre-back attributes at 15 years old are exciting. And here's one that might not blow you away straight away, but 16-year-old Albanian Sulaj has potential to be a really good attacking midfielder. And finally, probably my favourite yet, is Andrea Pelagata. Again, determination is there. We've got a good youth setup, but he's just all-round attributes, and he can play any of the 3 positions down the spine of the team. Now, knowing our youth team is going to be massively important for the stipulations we have on this save. What I did in mid-March, when I realised we couldn't win the title, I decided to move those players that we just focused on into our first team. So we had Moretti, Agresta, Pelagata and Sulaj straight into the first team. They were still available for the under-18s, so they were still getting game time. But I just feel like this is the way to get them progress faster, like we have done with the players that are slightly older than them, such as Condella and Ruti Giuliano. And they didn't get a great deal of playtime, but as you can see, Pelagata, 3 substitute appearances, just getting him used to it. And the next thing to do, and most importantly, is decide what we should do with these players in terms of their future development. What positions are we going to train them in? I'm going to put them on the end of the video so you can help me decide. This is Moretti, for example. Could he be a striker with the finishing of 7 and composure of 6? Probably better off elsewhere, I'm thinking. Perhaps as one of the wide guys. But what was cool to see was the two youngsters getting involved in the winner against Atlanta under 23s. You can see Sulaj there playing in the central midfield role. Lays it onto Pelagata, who I brought on for Shinetti, could be his long-term replacement. And they initiate this move, which led to the winner against one of the better teams in the league. So we finished 5th, which means we go into these playoffs. You can see there's 9 teams from this league in Serie C A, 10 teams from Serie C B. I don't know why that's different. And from the 3rd Serie C league, there's another 9 teams. Which means it's time to work this out. Looking at the tree, if we get through this one, it means we go to the 2nd round. Then you've got a 3rd round, a quarter-final, semi-final, and final. So there's a big bunch of matches to get through here. In the first game against Navarra, we looked fantastic. There was a big crowd in the stadium, which was nice to see, and we battered our local rivals 3-0 to progress to the 2nd round. Unfortunately, we're having to do it without Rizzo, who's been injured for about a month. And in worse news, Condella got injured in the 1st round, and he's going to miss the 2nd round. In the next round, we placed Azignano, who finished 28 points behind us in the league. We struggled to break them down and dominated the match, but they score on 78 minutes. And despite completely dominating the match, we fail in the playoffs at the 2nd round. To a team that finished 28 points behind us. What? Disappointing. Massively disappointing. Look, it was a great season overall. We finished 5th. The teams that were above us, Vicenza, Padova, just too good. So we can either be grumpy about it or we can lick our wounds and plan for next season. And that's what we're going to do. Now, we're going to keep this formation because it worked really well. If you look at the run-in here, you can see we adopted this late into December, January time, and we only lost the 1 match. We were pretty good, and we should have won that playoff match. So we're not going to change too much. And you can see some gaps in the team because they are the roles that we need to fill to improve this team. The players that we've left in there have all had a great season, and even Rizzo is not kicking up a fuss anymore. At the minute, he's happy. So we need a new defensive midfielder to hold his position. We need a left wing back who's going to be as good as Lotti is on the right hand side, and we need a new centre back to partner the young Kalina and Di Marino, the chosen ones. And that takes me back to this screen. Remember, we freed up that cash by releasing all those players thanks to you guys? Well, this 6 are coming into the club. Reyna's going to be a backup goalkeeper, and he's more than capable. If we do lose Rizzo, he could jump in. An exciting signing is Pablo Perez from Atletico Madrid. He's going to play down the left-hand side, but his versatility is outrageous. He could even play up front for us. Our new holding midfielder, also from Spain and Huesca, is Fernando Guerrero. As you can see, I think he's going to be an upgrade, and at only 23, what a great signing for the future. More attacking options have come in from Mikel Gotti from Real Sociedad. He can play anywhere across attacking midfield, anywhere across central midfield and wide. A new striker option is Ulrich Eller. He's a bit different from the strikers we have at the club. And another striker option is Shakir Omar coming from Genoa on a free transfer. Now he looks the finished article to me. So those 6 players coming in is exciting. 2 of them go straight into the team in central midfield and left wing back. We still need another centre back. And don't forget, we've got the youth players over here, Moretti, and we've got Agresta. And the other 2, they're going to be part of the squad going into next season. I mean, I'm excited, but there is a twist. If this formation doesn't break some teams down, like it didn't break that team we should have beat in the playoffs, we do have a rather crazy plan B. Now, funnily enough, this plan B came to my attention from a video I've just made about a very old edition of Championship Manager. So I've adapted it for Provicelli, and if in doubt, we break glass and we use this. I mean, hopefully we don't have to use it, but if we do have to use it, I'm excited for the front 5